Hello and welcome back to Mindful Sojourn. I'm Janie, and if you are a returning viewer, let me know in the comments so I can say hi and thank you for your continued support. And if you're new, also let me know in the comments if this is your first time checking out my channel. I would like to welcome you. If you saw any of my recent videos, well, they're not recent. I think I last posted a video, it's been 2 or 3 months, but if you saw one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I am pregnant, and so that is my excuse for the long absences between videos. It's been a rough pregnancy. I haven't had any medical complications necessarily, nothing too severe, but I did have hyperemesis gravidarum in the first trimester and had to fight with my insurance to get the medication that I needed to keep that under control. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically severe morning sickness that requires medication or hospitalization. I did have to go to the ER a few times for IV fluids, so I finally got that under control. And then with pregnancy, it just seems like it's one thing after another. I've had hip problems and back problems, and it's just been not fun, and I've been exhausted, and I have a toddler to take care of. So here I am. This video today is going to be a flip through of this lovely little journal. This was a commission. Someone wanted something very specific. This is a Scottish themed junk journal. It does not have a lot of writing space in it as requested by the recipient. The purpose for this journal was to store ephemera and memorabilia collected on their trip to Scotland. So it's Scottish themed. I used quite a few different things I had on hand, but I also used some images from a digi-kit that I bought from, I can't remember her name, but I will link her account below. But the kit included pages as well as some pockets and little bits of ephemera. But I also printed some of my own that I found online. For example, this image here, I found on a free, I think it was from like the British Library. If you go to their Flickr account, you can download some of their public domain images. So I used that to create this cover, but then this border is also from the same place where I got this digi-kit. And then I can't remember, like this little one, can't remember if this came in the digi-kit or if this was one that I found. But there were actually a few that I found online that I had printed, and then they were also in the digi-kit. So, but most of these came from the digi-kit. For example, like this one, this little piece came in the digi-kit that could be turned into like a little booklet, but I actually found this image and had already printed it. I used it somewhere in here. So it's a combination of things. And then the book, this is actually an altered book junk journal. So it's a hardback book. I cut out the block of text or the signatures, the pages from the book. But it was a poetry anthology, and there were a few in here that were Scottish themed, so I haven't done anything with this one yet. I'll probably just turn it into a little card to go into the pocket, to one of the pockets, the Loch Ness Monsters song. And then there were a couple Robert Burns poems in here as well that I saved to use in the journal as ephemera. So let's get started. I just covered the spine in some material that I had on hand and decided to put these little brads on just for some extra interest or texture. I like the combination of the fabric with the metal and then this wooden cross. Okay, now let's just dive in. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I had some scraps of lace to do some trim with. Now I did already go ahead and put the recipient's ephemera in it. So what they did, they commissioned this journal. They told me what they wanted, they wanted the theme to be vintage Scotland, travel, and then they sent their own ephemera. So there's, receipts from their trip, train tickets and things like that, even some of their own pictures, which I just printed on cardstock and antiqued some of them. So I went ahead and filled it with all of that. And like I said, there's minimal writing space because the person who commissioned this is not really a journaler or writer in that sense. So I only put, I think, a few writing spots throughout the journal just for them to jot down maybe some memories about the trip. Another picture of theirs. And then this photo, this antique looking photo, came in the DigiKit. Again, I will link that account below, or their Etsy shop where I got it. All of these, the pocket, the tag, and this pocket as well, all came from the same DigiKit. And then for the pages, I just used some of the pages from the DigiKit. This is just, the elementary writing paper, sheet music. Again, this is one of the trip photos from the recipient that I antiqued, and then this is from the DigiKit. Some of the pockets are still empty. This image, I believe, is one that I found. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I found this one and it wasn't from the DigiKit. And then I just made some pockets, some extra pockets with scrapbook paper. And this is one of the poems that I mentioned that came from this original book. It was a poetry anthology. This page was also from the DigiKit, but I just added a scrappy trim. DigiKit, and then antique trip photos. This is just a flip out journal spot. One of the tags from the DigiKit. I think there's more trip receipts in there. Flip out journal spot. Some more ephemera, like receipts, and a Brit Rail train pass. This book is only 2 signatures. I thought about making it 3, but 2 ended up being the perfect amount for the amount of ephemera that they had. This is their Explorer Pass from the Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. A little train timetable book. Some more of their personal ephemera that they collected on their trip, along with an image from the DigiKit. This is one of the images that I found. I liked how it looked. It's almost like a watercolor of the Highlands and the phrase, "My heart's in the Highlands." I thought that was perfect. Customs declarations. Oh, here's the image I was talking about. So this little piece came in the DigiKit, but then I actually, before I even purchased the DigiKit, I found the same image via the British Library's Flickr account, where you can download some of their public domain images. So I just thought that was a funny coincidence. Some more trip receipts, tag from the DigiKit, and this is another large pocket that is empty. This is another one of the images I found through the British Library. Just a beautiful little image of the Highlands. I think this is another one that I found. I don't think this came in the DigiKit. This is a map of Glasgow. And I liked the colors. So this pocket is made from a book page, and it's an envelope, but I only glued 3 sides so that it would be a pocket here, and then you can also open it and store some ephemera. So this pocket is actually made, where's the other side? This is all the same piece. It's an altered envelope, just a junk mail envelope. Some more receipts, another train timetable booklet, another tag, and that is all. So before I put in all of the pockets and embellishments, and then especially before adding all of the ephemera, this book stayed more closed, you know, about like that. And then once I got it stuffed with everything, it's now a gator mouth, as they call it. But I actually like that look for this type of book, and I think the recipient will as well. It's easy to, you could set it on a shelf with some travel photos. I like, you know, it's a memory keeping book. It's not meant to be just for little pieces of writing. It's for storing little treasures like this. And so it's meant to be stuffed and overflowing. And so I like that you can see all the little bits and pieces kind of sticking out and peeking out, and oh, what is this? You know, I like that it just grabs your attention. I like all the textures between the paper and the stitching and the lace. So I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I think the recipient will be happy with it as well. So this is going to be a short video because that's all I have for now. I have so many projects running through my head that I would like to do, but I have about a month and a half left to go on this pregnancy, and then of course after that I will have no time at all. So if what little time I do have for crafting and creating in the next month or so, I'll have to be very particular and prioritize what I want to do. I just have so many ideas, and I know in my recent videos I've mentioned, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and I haven't. But because this was a paid commission, this became a priority and I wanted to get it done. I'm happy with how it turned out. But I have so many other projects that I would like to do. We'll see what happens. So thanks for tuning in. Again, let me know in the comments if this is your first time checking out my channel or if you are a returning viewer. Either way, I appreciate you being here and checking out my video. I hope you like what you find. Check out my past videos to see if you find something that interests you, and you can look forward to more, hopefully, in the near future. And wish me luck for the next couple months as I finish out this pregnancy and face the daunting task of, daunting to say the least, of labor and delivery. So anyways, thank you for being here, and hopefully I will be back on here soon. Bye.